Hello and welcome to another edition of An English Guy Watching Wrestling. I'm an English Guy, I'm Nick. Thank you so much for clicking on another video, I really do appreciate it. And this one, we're going to be covering the AEW Dark episode from 23rd of March 2021. With that being said, let's jump right into it. Excuse me. Should have done that before I started, but it's kind of crept up on me, so I do apologise. And the opening matchup was the Chaos Project versus John Silver and Alex Reynolds of the Dark Order. Now, I was looking forward to this match when I saw it announced because I don't think I've ever seen these two teams ever have a match against each other before. And the Dark Order, I think, have become the most well-liked faction in all of AEW, and with good reason, because if you've ever watched them on being the most lovable and funniest people around. And then you've got Chaos Project, who I kind of absolutely love, as I said before. Serpentico and Luther just seem to work as a team. And this match with both these teams works very, very well. This was a good opener. I enjoyed this one a great deal. Chaos Project, I think, are underutilized a bit in AEW, but I think they're fantastic on AEW Dark. And this was another really good example. And against the Dark Order of John Silver and Alex Reynolds, who are a fantastic tag team, I really enjoyed this opening match. Good back and forth between both teams, actually. Not much of a clear advantage until until Dark Order was able to finish their battle with the Dark Destroyer, the double flip into the Destroy DDT from both members of the Dark Order, which is always impressive to watch. But this was a very good opening match. I really enjoyed this, and I wouldn't mind seeing these two teams fight again because, I said, first time I've ever seen these two teams wrestle each other, and it was definitely no bad thing. It was a good match. I enjoyed it, so definitely thumbs up to all four men for this one. And the next match was SCU versus Jarrell Nelson and Royce Isaacs, who my apologies, and Royce have been getting a bit more chances in AEW, and I kind of like them as a tag team. And SCU, the number one contenders for the AEW tag team title, so of course, the people that get shot at the belts, I'm positive, are Ray Phoenix and Pac, which, as I said before, Ray Phoenix and Pac versus the Young Bucks. I'm all for that. Yes, please, give us that match. It's going to be amazing. But this was, again, a very good tag match, and SCU are starting, I think, to get more exposure because those who've been following what's been going on, if they lose as a tag team, they must split as a tag team. I personally don't want to see it. But, of course, it's going to be interesting to see how happens when they face the Young Bucks. And I thought this was a very, very good example of kind of a small miscommunication between SCU, but they fought through and got the win with Christopher Daniels hitting the BME, which is exactly the best moonsault ever. It's fantastic. But this was actually quite a good tag match, and their opponent showed some decent offense in this one, but SCU, I knew we were going to win because I think everyone wants to see the Young Bucks versus SCU. It won't be the first time I've ever met, but it's going to be great stuff, so good tag match, enjoyed this one. And next match was Penelope Ford versus Miranda Elise. Now, Miranda Elise is a very kind of different competitor in AEW's women's division because she's kind of a luchador, a female luchador, but she doesn't wear a mask. I know luchadors usually wear masks, but sometimes, okay, I'll say high flyer. I say that, luchador style. Against Penelope Ford, who got the win in a very, very quick fashion with her fisherman suplex, which the bridge on that is ludicrous. But it was a fun match. I enjoyed this one, and Miranda showed some very cool offense in what was a short match, but a fun match to be honest. I enjoyed this one. So definite thumbs up to both ladies for this one. And this match was Adam Priest, Jason Patrick, and Baron Black versus the Gun Club. And when it comes to the Gun Club, you know you're going to get entertainment through and through. And you did in this match from all three men. And it was a short match, 3 minutes and 2 seconds. The Gun Club picking up another win. And enjoyable short match. It was fun stuff. So 4-6 men. There we go. And the next match was legitimately my match of the night. It was Jack Evans versus Dante Martin. And I was just saying, Jack Evans is usually part of the hybrid suit with Angelico. Dante Martin is usually brother of Darius Martin, and part of the top flight. Of course, he's on the shelf right now, so of course Dante get more of a singles chance against Jack Evans in a singles match. And this was just under 6 minutes, but boy, did they make use of that time. This was fantastic stuff, and not surprising considering the two athletes involved. Jack Evans, undoubtedly, one of the best high flyers in the world. against Dante Martin, who's a fantastic high flyer in his own right. But the offense between these two was fantastic. High impact, as you'd expect. Some amazing high flying, as you'd expect from both men. I absolutely loved it. This was a short match, but boy, did they make use of that time and use it very, very well. And Dante Martin is fantastic in top flight. But here in the singles match, he proved he can do some stunning stuff on his own. And Jack Evans, again, shown how good he is. He's always good. I've seen him wrestle so many times. I've never seen a bad Jack Evans match. And this was proof of it. He can really go over anybody. Doesn't matter how big they are or how small they are. Dante Martin, a little bit taller than Jack Evans, but this was absolutely amazing stuff. And I said 5 minutes and 51 seconds, but what a 5 minutes and 51 seconds it was. It was fantastic stuff. So definite thumbs up to both men. I mean, after the match, there was a bit of an exchange between Top Flight and Hybrid 2. So there's going to be a tag match there one day, and I'm all for that. So bring it on. So definite thumbs up to both men in this one. This was cracking stuff. And this match was, I think, a first in AEW Dark. I'm not too sure I've ever seen this happen before. Brian Cage defending the FTW World title against Bryan Cutler. Now, Brian Cage hasn't defended the belt that much because it's not actually recognised as an official title by AEW. But you know what? For what it was kind of cool to see him defend it because there's been a kind of dissension in Team Towers with Brian Cage and the rest of them. So it was kind of cool to see this kind of thing fall through. But I enjoyed this match for what it was. It wasn't the longest match, but it was a good match to say the least, and it was enjoyable. And some very close calls for Bryan Cutler to almost win the belt, and that's the kind of thing I like to see in title matches. Even though Brian Cage did win with the drill claw, it wasn't the longest match, but it was a very good match to be fair. And as I said, I wouldn't mind seeing more stuff like this on AEW Dark because whilst it's not an officially recognised title, it's different. And I'm going to say, I don't think I've ever seen any belt defended in AEW Dark. So this was definitely a first that I could think of. But as I said, Brian Cage is amazing. I've said it so many times, one of the strongest wrestlers there is. But he can move like a cruiserweight. He's so good. And Bryan Cutler, fantastic all-rounder. They click very, very well and some really good exchanges between both men. But Brian Cage did retain the title, so there you go. Our next match was Ashley Vox versus Alex Gracia. Now, Alex Gracia, since she's been in AEW, has had some very good appearances. This is Ashley Vox's third ever match in AEW, if memory serves correctly. And she won the match. And I was surprised by that. And I'm not taking anything away from Ashley Vox. I've seen her wrestle so many times. And she's really good. She's usually one part of the C Stars with Delmi Exo, but she's getting more of a singles chance in AEW, and there's nothing wrong with that. But it was a very unique situation because I was expecting Alex to get her first win. No. Ashley Vox got her first win. And when you see a 0 and wins for either person, you don't know what's going to happen. Obviously, it happened with Bryan Cutler and Peter Avalon. Kept on going and going and going until Brandon finally got a win. But I didn't expect Ashley to win this, but not complaining. It was a fun, short match, and her submission move, I don't know what it's called, was very, very unique, but very kind of brutal too. But only 2 minutes and 27 seconds, but Ashley Vox picked up a quick win, so can't complain. Well done, Ashley. And the next match was Rory Morales and Seth Gargis. Hopefully I pronounced that correctly. I do apologise if I'm not. Versus Sonny Kiss and Joey Janella. Now, so I have to, my mouth is very dry. I apologise. Anyway, kind of cool to see Joey and Sonny back on the same page after their kind of dissension last week. But you could tell they're on the same page because they were wearing the same coloured gear. It wasn't matching gear, but the same coloured gear. And it was a short match, but I think the matchup that they needed if they wanted to continue to be as a continuation as a tag team. And I absolutely love Joey Janella and his character work because every single time he comes out with Sonny, he runs over to the commentary position and grabs one of the microphones that's attached to the headset of either Taz or Excalibur and puts over Joey and puts over Sonny Kiss. and he couldn't do it this week because it wouldn't pick him up. I just thought it was so funny, and he runs all the way across the stage to the other side to see if there's a microphone. There wasn't one nearby. It was so entertaining to watch. But little things like that for Joe Janella, I see it at the same time because he's so entertaining. And I really like Sonny and Joe's tag team. I think they just clicked very, very well. And even though it was a short match, it was a win that was, I think, needed for them to get back on the right page and the same team. So right situation, same page. And of course, them wearing the same kind of gear kind of clicked with it. So can't fault that. And thumbs up to the good stuff from all four men. Oh, my phone has done something weird. I apologize. Yeah. Next match was Fuego del Sol, who is still yet to win in AEW, and it's so frustrating because I love Fuego, versus JD Drake. Now, in AEW Dark Elevation recently, it was Orange Cassidy versus Ryan Nemeth in a very, very good match. And after the match, JD Drake came out to kind of back up Ryan Nemeth, which was unusual to see, but nothing against it at all because I really like JD Drake. And he came out of Ryan Nemeth. And Fuego del Sol, I was half expecting him to get his first win. He didn't. JD Drake won the match, but I'm not complaining because I really like JD Drake. I've seen him wrestle quite a lot. I first saw him when he came over on a tour of the UK and met him. Very, 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 very nice guy. But he hits hard with his strikes. And his chops are water-like. They are that loud and brutal. But you know what? It happens in wrestling with some people. And JD Drake is super one. But this was actually quite a very good match between these two. Actually, I enjoyed it. Even though it was only 4 minutes and 25 seconds, it was some really good offense from both men. And really neat to see the pairing of Ryan and JD Drake together because I was half expecting. I say it's not a kind of a combination you expect, but hey, if it works, it works. And it seems to work for some strange reason, but hey, if it works, it works. Don't complain. But I was half hoping Fuego would win because I really want him to get his first win in AEW because he's getting more and more popular as each week goes on because of the whole thing with him and QT Marshall on Sammy Guevara's blog. But JD Drake picked up the win, and I'm not complaining because I said I like JD Drake. I think AEW are doing the right thing by using him a lot more because he's very, very good. So definitely couldn't fault this one. So thumbs up to both men for what was actually quite a good match. Then we had, speaking of QT Marshall, did I mention it before? Anyway, I'm mentioning it now. QT Marshall was Shawn Dean. Now, as far as I know, Shawn Dean has got the most losses in AEW. Fuego del Sol is just after him. But QT Marshall has kind of had a different way of doing things in the Nightmare family, so to speak, as of late, which is part of him turning heel, I think, which is kind of cool because there's no heels or faces in the same faction. So it makes it interesting, I think. But this was actually quite a good match, to be fair. And Shawn Dean is a very, very good wrestler. QT Marshall is a brilliant all-rounder. He can do everything. He's been doing it for so long. And the disrespect from QT Marshall shown towards Shawn Dean because Shawn did salute QT Marshall because Shawn Dean did serve in the United States Forces. Not sure if it's the military. I can't remember what it was. Air Force, maybe. But whatever it is, cool. And QT Marshall was saying disrespect by saluting him back in a mocking way. It was actually quite cool character work. I enjoyed that. But QT Marshall won with the Diamond Cutter, and it's kind of interesting to take it. He's starting to use it a lot more. I think Diamond Dallas Page said to him, "Give him the one and say, go, yeah, use it." But a fun match between both men, and QT Marshall showing some very good character work. It's continuing to carry on, so I'm interested to see how that carries on with him. So thumbs up to both men. Which brings us to the Bunny versus Jasmine Allure, and very interesting to see the Bunny get a match in AEW. I can't remember last time she had a match, in all seriousness, but it was kind of, I would say, it was a kind of a squash match, to be fair, because obviously the Bunny is signed with Matt Hardy, so is Butcher and the Blade, and it was interesting to see her get a singles match. And hey, you know what? I'm all for it because she's not wrestled in AEW for some time. I think maybe over a year, if memory serves correctly. I'm not too sure if that's right, but still, nothing wrong with that. And obviously, to see her get a chance in the ring after her being the, I would say, manager of Butcher and the Blade. Good to see him get a singles match and more of it, please, because the women's division in AEW is been fantastic all year long. And to see women wrestlers who have been more of a managerial role, shall we say, get a chance in AEW, I'm all for it. So definitely a thumbs up to both ladies for that. Especially with the money getting the win, so there you go. Then we had a 6-man tag match. Yes, I was double checking. Colt Cabana, Stu Grayson, and Evil Uno versus Carly Bravo, Brick Aldridge, and Dean Alexander, who are all training at the Nightmare Factory. They're not part of the family, as far as I know, but they are training there. But a very, very good match this match. I enjoyed it. 6-man tag match. It was short, but very, very good. And you can't not rely on, Evil Uno, Stu Grayson, and Colt Cabana, all veterans, all very, very good at what they do. And this was a fun 6-man tag match. And really cool to see the dynamic and the different ways of approaching wrestling from the Dark Order. It was a treat, and I'm really enjoying what they're doing as of late. And kind of cool to see this trio, shall we say, against the other three, Brick Aldridge, Dean Alexander, and Carly Bravo. Did a fun job too, so definitely couldn't fault that. And fun but short match, and hitting the superb finisher from the Dark Order of Stu Grayson and Evil Uno, the Fatality. Could always like to see that move, so there you go. But, thumbs up to all 6 men for this one. Which brings us to the main event. It was Angel Fashion and D3 versus Nick Comoroto and Aaron Solo. Now, I say main event, they were kind of advertising the FTW title match as their main event, but this was the last match, so main event halfway through the show, you can call that, I suppose, but that's what it was. But this was a very quick match, and the first ever team of Aaron and Nick Comoroto, because they are part of the Nightmare family, against Angel Fashion and D3, who I quite like both those guys. But this was a quick match, and Solo getting the win was a right call, because Nick Comoroto is getting a push as of 8 in AEW, but he is built like a tank. Simple as that. So it's kind of cool to see Aaron pick up the win in this one, who's had a bit of bad luck as of late, but in matches with losing, unfortunately, but happens. But it's kind of cool to see him get a win. I'm very pleased he did, so can't fault that. Thumbs up. And thumbs up to what was actually a very good episode of AEW Dark. Many matches, as it is on AEW Dark, but it's on YouTube and it's free. Who's complaining? I'm certainly not. So, thumbs up once more. And with that being said, that is it for this review. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate it. I'll see everybody very, very soon. And I'll see you then. But till then, take care.